Sin City, the biggest little city in the world. We're comparing both of them.
Yeah, little face-off here. Little face-off edition of our channel.
Exactly. Everybody thinks Reno, Vegas, are like an hour away.
Yeah. Nevada is not small. Texas is big. Nevada's big. California's big. They're big states.
Exactly. So that's what we're touching on. Sin City, biggest little city in the world. Stay tuned. Yo, welcome to the channel, everybody. This is
Ryan Chikvara
and Joe Hanich. You guys have made it to living in Reno, Nevada. Today's a fun one.
Yeah.
Right? We've got requests to shoot this video today. We're talking Vegas
versus Reno.
Yeah. Okay. It's going to be a little battle royale. Going in depth. What makes us different? What are we talking about?
Schools, weather, outdoors, cost of living, amenities.
Best places to live with the family.
Yeah.
I throw in a little story about a little buzzed shopping.
Yeah.
But that's what we're covering in this video, guys. If you are new to the channel, we are going over all things Northern Nevada related.
So like and subscribe that.
Exactly. Hit the subscribe button. Tap that little bell. We're putting out videos every week.
Every week.
Just for you guys. This one was a special request, so we had to knock the video out. But if you are relocating, moving to the area, and you need somebody to give you a point of view,
that's us.
Call us, text us, email us, whatever you have to do to get a hold of us. Ryan is literally at his computer day and night, just waiting for somebody to email.
It's just me and my cat, just every now and again, scampering across.
I can vouch for that. So if this is, information you're looking for, Reno, Vegas, the difference, we got you. Watch the whole video. Stay tuned. Here we go. We're jumping into it. Reno versus Vegas.
Yeah. A lot of people think, here in Nevada, we must be Vegas, or Vegas is us, or we're 30 minutes away, or...
We get that all the time. When we talk about Reno, everybody thinks that it's a quick drive, right? That you can just head there, do a day trip, come right back. Couldn't be farther from the truth.
Absolutely. You're living on the East Coast, you're Pennsylvania, right across the border somewhere else, and here we are in Nevada. It's a 7-hour trip.
Yeah, exactly. The drive sucks, right? You're just driving right through the desert.
Straight desert.
But just to touch on it, 7.5, 8 hours if you're slow. If you're flying, it's a quick 40-minute flight.
Yeah.
Super quick. So we're going to be going over the differences and why Reno is so much better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's not even close. First one we're going to get into are the schools. Nevada as a whole, we don't really have the best reputation.
Yeah. Right?
As having the best public schools in the country. But good news for Reno.
Yeah, we rank higher than Vegas. School Digger,
yeah.
Is they reference all schools across all different states. So just did some research there, and we rank 16th in the state amongst all cities. So keep in mind, a lot of these cities are much smaller. So you have your 3 major metropolitan areas basically going to be Reno and Sparks included in that, but Sparks is its own place in Las Vegas. So we just ranked those 3 there. Reno 16th.
Yep.
With 4 stars. Las Vegas 22nd with 3 stars, and then Sparks is 24th. And they rate that as a 3-star as well. So some of those schools or some of those cities that are going to be ranking up higher are literal 1-school towns.
Definitely.
Elementary through high school.
Yeah.
So.
And that's not to say that Reno has, some of the best elementary schools in the entire state.
Absolutely, yeah.
Or middle schools. I know Vegas has a private high school that is the best in the entire state.
Yeah. Bishop Gorman's nationally ranked all the time. So
yeah, probably heard of them. Their athletics, too, is ridiculous. They might have been caught recruiting.
Yeah, just maybe.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, somehow they get all the best Canadian basketball players, but we don't know how. So.
But yeah, like Ryan said, the out of the major cities, right? Obviously Vegas being the largest. Then we have Reno. Then we have Sparks. Reno ranks the best education-wise.
Yeah, and like we said, just touching on different schools, we do have Reno High is rated as a 5-star high school.
Yep.
McQueen, Galena, DeMonte are all 4 stars. So you've definitely got options up here for real good schools. So
Definitely. And Spanish Springs, too, is not a terrible high school. They're probably close to 5th on the list.
yeah,
So kind of northern Sparks, right? Or moving north in Sparks there. Another great option as well.
and kind of only improving. The more people that are moving out there, the more ability they have to get better teachers. So
Definitely. They keep building like crazy out there. Property taxes, more money is just going to get pumped back into the city and education system up there.
absolutely.
Reno takes the cake for the schools. Sorry, Vegas, stop bringing us down.
With that, we'll move on to number 2 then. And with this video too, we kind of wanted to touch a little bit more on the family aspect of things. We know a lot of our different videos can be just simply weathers, things of that nature. But
Yeah.
we want to start with schools here just to kind of give the family aspect there. And so we went with weather and outdoors as our number 2.
Yep.
Just kind of things to do outside of gaming, gambling, all the different stuff that gets equated with Nevada. So you want to talk a little bit about weather there?
Yes, weather. I mean, we are, again, only 7.5 hours away, but we're night and day when it comes to weather.
Yeah.
Reno, we have all 4 seasons here. Summer, spring, winter, fall. Vegas
Not so much.
kind of just has a summer, super hot summer, and then a not so hot summer in the
Yeah,
winter.
exactly. Yeah, if you want to call it winter, you can. But they typically get down to what, about the low 50s?
Yeah.
In the, if that.
Exactly. And I mean, right, wintertime, obviously, yeah, fantastic weather-wise there in Vegas. But it just lacks the recreation that we have here.
Sure.
Right? We have Lake Tahoe. We always touch on it. 30, 45 minutes away. Anything you can ask for outdoors-wise.
Sure.
Winter, summer, spring. There's always something to do there. But I guess temperature-wise, on average in the summertime, we're looking at low 90s.
Yeah, so
In Reno.
our extreme high is about 91 degrees throughout the summer, whereas Vegas is going to be 105.
Yeah.
So,
And Reno, I think we'll touch triple digits. We'll have a heat wave come through probably once a summer.
yeah.
So it does get a little bit warm, but it's manageable. It's
It's
bearable.
not that consistent, just the heat just bearing down on you. So,
Exactly. Right. And then again, drive to Tahoe, drops 10 degrees. Then it's beautiful.
yeah. And then touching with Tahoe, we would just want to go into a little bit about the outdoors there. So we're known for Tahoe. That being said, being so close to the Sierra Nevada mountains, there's tons of little hidden gems, just different hikes that you can do. I did one last summer up to Marlette Lake. Absolutely amazing. There's a bike trail that goes all the way around it. Me and my friends just found a rock, went swimming for 45 minutes. But Donner Lake, the docks at Donner is one of my favorite
Awesome.
things
Yeah.
to do. With my girlfriend, just go set up a little picnic basket, hang out all day, jump off the docks, do some swimming. There's boating out there.
And there's hiking around all these places.
Absolutely. Yeah.
With the dogs too. Yeah, we checked out Donner Lake. There was a hiking trail. Man, we did right above Donner. I don't know what it was, the name of it, but took the dogs out, secluded, completely by ourselves, so we were kind of able to escape the masses a little bit. But those little gems are all over.
Yeah, and we have a couple good friends who are real outdoorsy. Our buddy Calder actually is.
Yes.
He'll go out there and just take a tent, hang out overnight, and so do a little overnight trip too at some of these Marlette Lake as well, Donner, Fallen Leaf. So, all cool, different little places. We just like the amenities up here a little bit more as far as the outdoors go. Lake Mead, we know down in Las Vegas is the biggest lake that they have there. It is man-made.
Yeah, and it is I think the largest man-made lake in the
I
U.S.
believe
Is how
so.
we looked up.
Yeah.
Fact check us on that. Leave a comment if
Yeah.
we are incorrect.
Yeah, we might be lying there, but I'm pretty sure that's true.
Yes, and Lake Tahoe is the second deepest
Yes.
freshwater lake in North America.
But still one of the largest freshwater lakes
Yeah.
in America. So
Exactly. And beautiful. So when it comes to outdoors, weather, recreation, again, obviously I think we're a little biased.
but
If it only came down to Reno, it would probably be pretty similar, right? But because we got the Sierras that are so close, there's so many it's endless on the, things that you can do. So that's why we're giving it to Reno again.
yeah, so maybe we started this video this way too because we're 2 for 2 now. So.
Hey, not too bad.
Yeah,
And moving on to
cost of living.
cost of living. Go ahead, jump on.
Yeah,
in.
sure. So just some of the things that we compared: health, utilities, miscellaneous things like clothing stores, restaurants, all that sort of stuff. Of course, the housing market. So we're going to go and do a little bit of all of those different things. But here in Reno, some things that we know for sure are slightly cheaper. Health, those are pretty comparable. The national average, they rate it off of a scale of about 100 being average. So we're right at 92.
Yeah.
Vegas is 92.3.
Both right there. Against the
similar.
national average, we're lower.
Yeah, so not too much of a difference there. Utilities are definitely cheaper here. Clothing, restaurants, same thing. It's going to be cheaper here. That's probably based off of the higher end stuff in Las Vegas. So,
Definitely.
when you've got Gordon Ramsay and
Rolex
all the different,
store.
all the different stuff. Yeah, that raises the price point a little bit there. Transportation.
I will say one time, we were in Vegas for a guys trip. We were playing in the World Series of Poker, one of the little satellite tournaments. Having a bunch of, a good time, having fun with the friends, and had a couple drinks. And I just decided to go shopping that day.
Yeah.
And it gets expensive real quick when you do some buzz shopping. Yeah. So that could be one of the reasons why, clothing and restaurants are a little bit more expensive because...
Yeah, once you get your drink on, the difference between a $55 steak and an $80 steak, it's, who cares?
Out the window.
Yeah, who cares?
Exactly.
So yeah, just touching on transportation, then after that, we are significantly cheaper transportation-wise. And then with that, this is not cost of living, but we think it's kind of important to talk about, is just commute time.
Yeah.
So you want to touch on that real quick?
Commute times, looked it up. Average here in Reno is 19 and a half minutes. Everyone always says, right, you can get anywhere in Reno in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Kind of find that factual. Really, anywhere you go, it's going to be about a 20-minute drive. Then
I'm about as far as you can go up north Reno without being into Sparks, and it takes me actually exactly 20 minutes to get here to Joe's place in Demonte Ranch. So
yes. And yeah, it's just kind of funny, but average 19 and a half minutes. In Vegas, you are looking over 25 minutes, 25 and a half.
Still below the national average of 26 and a half. So, not too bad, but 6 minutes, each way, you're talking about 15
Starts
minutes
to
here
add
a day.
up.
Yeah. So,
what were you saying? National average is 26 and a half, so both lower.
And then we just want to touch on a couple big cities. It's like New York, Chicago, Atlanta. Those are all about 35-ish. So Vegas, being a big city, still has a little bit better commute time. There's 10 minutes right there that you save. And then we love the fact that we're 19. They're doing a ton of work right now on the freeway. Just with the growth that we've seen, they immediately jumped on it. I do, really commend the transportation department here they're building that freeway out to add a couple more lanes right around the problem area. It's called the Spaghetti Bowl. Which has been a problem area even so
since they designed it.
Yeah, since they designed it. Yeah,
since inception.
So I've been hearing that since I was a kid, like 10 years old on the news. It's like Spaghetti Bowl.
The damn Spaghetti Bowl again.
So no, I think this time they finally got it figured out. They realized, with what they had done in the past wasn't enough, that they got to get it right this time. So they've changed that up, and so that should even help commute times a little bit more. So,
and you were looking at Houston. What was Houston?
Houston's 50 minutes.
Get out of here.
50 minutes in Houston. So
ridiculous.
That's just, information that you might not think about. That's why we want to provide that, of course, because it's something like that is just night and day to me. I could never drive, I don't think, in an hour and 40 minutes a day on top of
not a chance
what I'm doing. Yeah.
So. Commend if you are doing it. Good for you.
Yeah.
Get a Tesla, self-driving.
Yeah.
Take care.
Yeah, exactly. That way you can work in the car while you're on the way. So
the housing market, though, obviously that is a big one.
Mm-hmm.
And a reason some people are heading down south instead of coming to the Reno area.
Yeah, we have talked to some clients and people who have been looking at both, and for some that is the deciding factor. I totally understand it.
Yeah.
We are a little bit higher, obviously, and by a little bit, about 40 points on the scale, if you will.
Yeah, Reno, we're looking at about 160. Again, national average 100, and Vegas is looking at about 119. A lot of that, again, has to do with inventory.
Yeah.
Our inventory is so low here that prices, not only were they previously inflated, right? Then you add 15 people wanting the same house, that price continues to be inflated. So that is our crisis here in Reno at the moment. Your money goes a little bit farther, Vegas, Henderson, but the clients that have looked down there, with families, there's no way they could live down there.
Yeah. So, and then we actually had a meeting this morning. We were talking about it. We think We anticipate with interest rates rising a little bit, that inventory should increase as well. So
Yeah, might push some buyers out of the market that were barely hanging on
yeah,
in the first place. Big things happening obviously this year, so we'll kind of wait to see how everything pans out.
but yeah. So with that, the housing, I mean, the 40-point difference right there still on all the things that we've touched. There's a couple things we didn't touch on. Groceries, they're exactly the same.
Both under the national average.
Yeah. Miscellaneous, we're a little bit light on the lighter end. We touched on that. So the overall cost of living rating is a 116 for us and a 111 for Vegas. So it's strongly buoyed right now by the housing market.
Definitely.
But that being said, obviously you start doing the math there. You take the housing out of it. Once you've purchased your house, it's far cheaper to live here.
Definitely. And then one thing I did want to talk about is population per square mile. This was a big one, right?
Yeah.
Las Vegas obviously is quite a bit bigger than Reno. Population per square mile in Reno is about 2,200 people. In Vegas, you are about 4,400.
It's almost double. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly double. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
almost exactly double.
Yeah.
You
Math
might,
checks out.
right? You just kind of get lost in the hustle when you have that many people on top of each other. If you're coming from a larger city, that might not seem like a lot. I'm coming from a smaller little town in Idaho. Definitely is a little bit larger, hence the biggest little city in the world.
Yep.
But something to keep in mind.
Sure. So let's move on to, well, actually, I guess we got to recap since we gave ourselves schools and weather. At this point in time, we do have to give the cost of living to Las Vegas.
Good job, Vegas.
Yeah, the housing market, you did it. They did it down there. But with that, we'll move on to just basic amenities. So same thing, kind of just giving families an idea of what to expect here when expecting, right? Isn't that's the baby book? What to expect when expecting?
What to expect. Sure. Yeah.
I don't know.
Something like that.
I'm making it up. Maybe it's a movie or a book.
I was supposed to read that.
Oh, see, there you go.
Yeah. What to expect when expecting.
Yeah, that's why we're both so cluster brained, is because this guy gets me going.
It's terrible.
Anyway, so things like hospitals, for example, we have 2 right now. A third is in the works. Carson Tahoe, just down the road, is another option that a lot of people like to use. Carson Tahoe is a real good hospital. So 4 in the surrounding area within the 30 minutes.
Definitely.
3 are going to be in Reno. 2 right now, whereas Vegas has 6.
Yeah.
We did touch on that. Health rankings are the same, though. So quantity-wise, more hospitals. We just said there's 2,200 more people per square mile, so it makes sense. But price-wise, it's going to be the same there. So.
Yeah. And again, both a little bit lower than that national average.
Yeah.
Which is nice. Amenities, airport-wise.
Yeah, we have 1.
Yes. Tiny little. It's small.
It is. It's one of those love-hate relationships for me personally. Most of my family is in major metropolitan areas, Seattle, Las Vegas, Chicago. And so anytime we're going on a family trip, let's go to New Orleans. They're all flying for $200 each way, whatever, 400 round trip. That could be about $600 for me. So not a crazy price increase there, but just enough sometimes where you're like, I don't know if I want to pay the little extra there.
Definitely. What I do love about the airport here in Reno, it's right in the city.
Central.
So it's a 5-10 minute drive, 20-minute drive at the max, right? If you're deep north. But it's super close. Super easy to get to.
It's 10 minutes for me to get to, and once I'm there, so just an example, I'm on a 5:30, whatever, 6, call it a 6 o'clock flight. I'm leaving my house at like 6:15.
Yeah.
And that's real.
For sure.
I leave, I'm in the airport at 6:25. I'm through like the check-in at 6:35, and I walk up with 5 minutes to spare when they start boarding.
Yes.
It's like, so I do love that aspect of it.
Yeah. And that's the Reno Tahoe International Airport, right? So if you're going into Tahoe, you're flying into Reno, obviously.
Yep.
McCarran International Airport, huge.
Yes.
Night and day compared to the Reno Tahoe. Again, you're getting there an hour 30 to 2 hours early. If not longer, right? Getting through security, all of that's just going to take a lot longer. But you're going to have a lot more direct flights.
Absolutely. So, and that is the added benefit. We, like we said, we do have a little bit more expensive flights because we are a smaller airport. And then we do have, for the most part, unless you're flying direct to Phoenix, Las Vegas, LA, somewhere in the surrounding area, Denver.
Yeah.
For the most part, anywhere onto the East Coast, you're going to have a connecting flight, about a 7-hour trip, so somewhere in that range, basically, with your connection. So
yeah, heading up to Coeur d'Alene, you're flying to Spokane, and to get to Spokane, you're flying into Oakland. Yeah. Phoenix, Vegas, Boise, Portland.
We just did a Coeur d'Alene trip myself, and flew from Reno to Vegas and Vegas to Spokane.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Go south for 45 minutes and make it up on the way back.
Exactly. And a lot of times coming here, we stop in Oakland. So we're passing Reno, switching planes in Oakland, and then flying back over.
Yep.
It's easy. Whatever. But those are the two differences, obviously, with
something you get used to as well. So any other amenities we wanted to touch on there? I think, let's see.
Did we talk about trails? Did we talk about hiking?
We did a little bit. We touched with that in the weather and outdoors, but we did have some statistics on that. And Reno, so All Trails is a great app. Yeah, I just love to use that. You find they rank the trails. You get firsthand accounts of people telling you the day before if it was muddy or not. Just don't use.
If it snowed out, I mean, obviously you're not worried about that some places, but that's a big one.
So they'll rank the trail. They'll tell you how difficult it is, the exact length, all that different stuff. So that's my favorite app to go to, just personally.
For sure. And if you are using that app, make sure you are putting in notes because it's so helpful.
Oh, absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
we're sponsored by All Trails.
Yeah, someday. Just like and subscribe, right? That's maybe someday.
Exactly.
So with that though, they have 67 trails listed for Reno, the actual Reno area itself. And then obviously once you get down into Carson, 25 minutes down the road, or if you're going to Tahoe, we always say about 30, depending on where you're at, 45 minutes. Tahoe has over 100 trails. So it's literally listed as 100 plus on there. So with that.
Vegas had how many?
Vegas has 100.
Has 100.
Yeah. So
one, you're just walking flat.
No, I'm sorry, 160. So it was very comparable with our area up here when you include Tahoe and Reno. I'm a Tahoe hiker anyway.
For sure,
it's totally worth it to drive the 35 minutes. I hike around here for recreation. That I do for the absolute beauty, make a day out of it.
Definitely. And there's really no comparison there. Again, we're gonna keep falling back or reverting to Lake Tahoe.
Yeah,
and its beauty, right? So many different trails.
Yeah. And I mean, as much as we're leaning on Tahoe, that is why we are what we are.
Exactly.
Reno Tahoe International Airport is called that for a reason.
Exactly.
It's, it's the gem of the Sierras. California claims half of it, and it's still one of those things that's just funny because it's like we're just as much Tahoe as California is. So it's this, we like our side just as much as they like theirs. But we give the hiking and that sort of thing to us, not just based off of the number of trails.
All about that quality.
Exactly. Yeah.
Not just
beauty. So
yeah,
I'd rather hike through the forest than through the desert. So
yes. We got it both here.
Yeah.
Boom.
Anything else we want to touch on? I kind of just had a little note on just kind of the vibe and feel. So bringing it back around to the family aspect of things. Vegas is labeled Sin City for a reason. I love Vegas. It's a fun trip. It's good to hang out in.
Definitely.
It's got the Raiders now. It's got, it's got hockey. It's got all those different things that you can do. And so I do love that aspect of it. Living in it, I'm not a huge fan of. I went there, like I said, as a kid, many times to visit. My brother actually lives in Henderson, so shout out to Andrew. Sorry, I'm trashing you right now. But yeah, growing up as a kid, you're walking the strip and you're getting handed, you're 10 years old, getting handed a nudie paper.
Yeah,
I think they've nixed that. They've gotten that out of the way a little bit better, but you still get the driving billboard with the lady on the side a lot.
Yeah, they've got the walking billboards now, right?
Yeah. So just that aspect of things, the vibe in Reno. We've said it before, the biggest little city in the world, and it does have that feel. Some of the things that we have around here. We have a AAA baseball team, the Aces.
So much fun.
Great family, just oriented.
Definitely.
Grab some drinks,
Affordable, whether you go with the guys, the family.
$10, sit on the berm.
Exactly. And it's such a good time. So, I think Reno, as far as being family forward, is definitely where we're at.
Yeah. Hot air balloon races and the rib cook-off are two of my favorite things as well.
Definitely.
That are just
hot August nights.
Yeah.
Just good times. Yeah, I think when you kind of compare the two, that Reno is more family friendly oriented.
Yeah.
Vegas, Sin City, you're kind of
what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Yeah, you're kind of like a get in, get out kind of thing. Not saying that you can't make and have, amazing family time in Las Vegas, but they're just completely different.
Yeah.
But obviously, yes, Vegas has the Las Vegas Raiders. We don't have any professional teams. We have the Aces. Soccer team is
a soccer team, unless somebody picks it back up, and we're hopeful because it really was so cool.
Yeah.
They did not survive COVID, so the soccer team is gone now. But that being said, we've touched on this in our winter video. The large ice rink they just built.
Yep.
We are in the works to try and get a minor league hockey team as well. So that would be super cool.
Would be awesome.
I love minor league hockey. So
definitely. And one other thing, real estate related, property tax wise, we are pretty close in comparison to Las Vegas, but Reno is actually a little bit cheaper. And we were at 0.62%, 0.062. 0.62.
Yeah.
Vegas was 0.65. Annual property sales tax in Reno was about $1,550, and Vegas was about $1,650. So, real estate wise, we get that win.
Yeah. Yeah, sum it up with a win there.
Exactly.
So overall, we take the cake in what? We've got schools, we've got weather outdoors.
We got them all.
Cost of living, unfortunately, with the housing market, but property taxes on those houses.
Exactly.
We win there.
A little
So
bit cheaper.
caveat it there. And then amenities, we think that, of course, Las Vegas has...
takes the cake.
Yeah, it's hard to beat, the entertainment capital of the United States. But as far as the family side of things go, we like it here a lot. So
definitely. There you guys have it. Sin City, biggest little city in the world. Give us a shout. If you guys are thinking about either, call us, text us, email us. We'd love to answer questions and go a little bit more in depth. Check out some of our other videos to showcase Reno, Tahoe, and all things Northern Nevada related.
we got you.
Awesome. Till next time, guys.